Hello, hello, folks. Welcome. Day 3, Champions Chess Tour, Julius Baer, Generation Cup. We're covering Divisions 2, Divisions 3 here on chess.com community, also on Jules Gambit's channel. Hello, hello. How's everyone doing?
Hi
See,
guys, my name is Jules and this is Kostya. And
they
my
know
name is I am
us.
Kostya and that's Jules. Yeah. Well, but what if they don't? I don't know. You can't just assume these things, Kostya.
Our faces were on the TV for several minutes there, so they should know us. Uh, how's
I
everyone
don't know.
doing?
How's everyone doing? Where are you tuning in from, by the way?
Yes.
Mark up your time zone or where you're tuning in from. We have a lot of really interesting games to be able to look over today, and we're going to be super interactive with chat. If you guys have any games or players you specifically want to see, you can let us know in chat as well, and we will do our best to get to them, won't we, Kostya?
We will do our best. No, I can promise you that. Because there's so many interesting matches, guys. We have the winners bracket semifinals today. We got multiple matches in the losers bracket. Yesterday, Anita, I was doing this with Anita Drink. She wasn't a fan of the naming of the losers bracket. How do you feel about it, Jules? Do you feel
Why?
like it's
Oh, I think it's great.
you like it?
Like,
Okay.
what do you want to call it? Like the people who are not winners bracket,
Yeah, exactly. The
like
non-winners bracket. Something a
the
little
non-winners bracket.
something a little more chill. I don't know. I mean, the thing is, these are elimination matches, so this is pretty serious. These are 2 game matches, best of 2. If it's tied after 2 games, they go to Armageddon. These are 10-minute games for the most part, 10+2, no increment in the Armageddon. And yeah, I mean, yesterday there was a lot of blood. I think today there's going to be a lot of blood. I have a lot of like friends playing this, and like some of them are going to have to go home.
Well,
Actually,
then
a lot
maybe
of
you can
St.
hang
Louis
out with
folks
them.
here. We got Benjamin Bach against Lazovic. Bach is a St. Louisian.
Yes, and I actually was commentating with him yesterday for Collegiate Chess League, so
I know.
all in the same community, all in
He's
the
a
same community here.
commentator one day, player the next day. Uh,
Versatile. Yeah.
a little bit of everything. I hope to get back into the arena myself one day, but
And
we'll
I will
see.
be happy to commentate when you do. Yeah, I think chess players generally, chess is a harsh environment, right? Like they're used to losing, so I don't think they'll be offended by the title of the brackets. And it's pretty fun to say for us commentators as well. And speaking of these losers brackets, I know a few games have started so far. Is there one in particular you want to take a look at, Kostya?
Let's see. So yeah, I had this game up with Bach and Dennis, which is a very high level game. Also, I think a very important game because for Dennis, he basically needs to like win this tournament or get something like second place to qualify for the tour finals. So he's not just playing for like a bunch of money, like thousands of dollars, which is going to be a lot for a kid like him, but he's also playing for like getting a chance to go to like Oslo for the finals, right? So uh, he's playing for not just his tournament life here. So that to me makes this an
That's
interesting
exciting, yeah.
matchup. I'm also looking at Bortnik against Vasif, which to me is just like a fascinating match as well.
Yeah, there are going to be a lot of really interesting matches coming up, especially as these brackets are thinning out and you really have the cream of the crop rising through for this tournament.
Yeah, absolutely. Folks, again, if there are any players you would particularly like to see, we can always jump to that match. I see. I'm seeing that the match Gelfin Theodoru is already 1-0.
Really?
So I don't know if that
Div
game.
3, yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, that's Div 3. I don't know if that game actually happened or not. Um,
Well,
let me
Div
see.
3 is a little bit ahead. I don't think that game probably happened because I don't see the moves on it. So I think it was probably just a forfeit for the first round.
Looks like a forfeit. Okay, that's too bad. 'Cause Theodora, that was a very interesting matchup. That was like, Legacy versus New Age, onliner. Um, but yeah, I guess Nico wasn't able to play for some reason. I don't know.
Perhaps we should take a look at D3 because they're a little bit further along on the way. They started a little bit before.
Yeah.
There's some interesting games going on there as well that are getting down to the wire. If you want to take a look, I think
Oh,
the
we got
Navarra, Christopher Yu, Hans, and Baroth both look very interesting.
yeah, we got Navarra against Christopher. Christopher beat Hans earlier in the tournament, but then he got knocked out. I forget by who. So now, yeah, he's on his last life. And then you got like Makari and Sindara. Wow, this is a dangerous bracket. You have Sindarov, Christopher Yu, Hans, David Navarra, this kid Rudik, and Bharat Subramanian was also like very very strong in Blitz. So this is
By the well,
super
yeah.
tough.
By the way, hello, everyone new joining us. Abdel, hello, nice to see you. We are commentating today for Div 2 and Div 3 right now, looking at this Christopher Yu Navarra game, which is all right, let's take a look here. Finally, Castling has the bishop pair. Yu has the bishop pair, so that's kind of nice.
Yeah,
What
game
do you
one.
think?
Let me just scroll back through the opening here to show folks
Oh
what
yeah, let's
happened.
see.
So it started as knight f3 and bishop g2. So Navarra playing like it's kind of like a hybrid like Catalan, see what the opponent does thing, because he ends up going d4. And yeah, we just transposed back into a classic Catalan, which I'm sure Navarra has played a bunch. And from what I can tell, okay, they played some kind of theoretical line. Maybe not the most common approach from Christopher, but seemed to work out okay. Like I think this position ends up being a little bit optically loose, but yeah, I think pretty strong with the two bishops. Now, okay, just catching up to the game, knight b3, trade on b3, takes on c5, a b3, we got this endgame. And yeah, looks like Christopher's holding his own. I would feel like white is a little bit better. It just seems like white's structure is somehow slightly more pleasant. But yeah, objectively, I imagine black is fine here. We'll
Right.
see if
And
David can squeeze the kid. You know, this is where the experience has to come in, and you gotta like find a way to trick the kid somehow. But I don't know. Christopher is very good, so it's hard to trick him even in an endgame.
maybe we should go to the Hans Valroth game because there's some action going on there, and then we can come back when we see the squeeze occurring.
Yeah, this game is much more interesting. At
I do
least,
know you like your endgames, Kostya.
yeah. No, but it's nice to see some chaotic positions. And this one, okay, is looking good for black. Like these pawns are very nicely advanced. I'm guessing this was some kind of Italian game that we eventually got the structure. Hans, of course, likes his Italian game. He was playing that like nonstop in the SCC finals.
Right. And this position seems a little bit squished for white as well here. Those two pawns on E and F, do you think those are going to push anytime soon? That could be a little scary for white.
Yeah, and look at black's last move, Queen h7. Like not just getting out of the way of Bishop h5, but also just telegraphing that he wants g5. And so that's why
G5, very
Hans goes
scary.
knight f1 back. Yeah, because he needs to make a square for the bishop. Now black could go g5 f4 anyway. I mean, that just looks fantastic, to be honest. Like just completely dominating white's pieces.
And this is a match between two, as you would say, onliners.
Yeah,
By the way,
big
good
time.
morning, everyone. I hope you are enjoying. I see people starting to tune in. And we have something interesting here. Okay, F4. So you would have gone G5 right away, correct?
To me, that looked good. He's trying to be quite aggressive here, like just looking to trap the piece. I mean, Engine says this is a mistake. I don't really see why. Like eval's still pretty good for black, and it looks very annoying for white to deal with. Like, what do you do here? Like g5 is coming. If f3, then black
Yeah.
is just gonna shut you down with e3. So, okay, he plays f3, but e3 it looks fantastic for black. Maybe e3 bishop d3. There's some hope on the light squares.
Bishop D3. Okay. I mean, still, yeah, that's a very scary pawn coming in
But if he
on
goes
E3. There's no
g5
real way
right
to ever
now,
get rid of it.
how is white's bishop not trapped here? Like g5 and then bishop f2, e3.
Honestly, it might just be.
Looks like it's trapped. Yeah, he can take the piece if he wants, but he's thinking about it.
Oh, well, okay, maybe if you go G5, you can kind of destroy the pawn structure a little bit by taking on E4 and maybe pushing E5 later on. I mean, it would not be worth the bishop, but it could at least transform the position
Yeah, I
if you
think
have
that's
to give up
probably
the
what
piece
he's thinking
anyway.
about. Exactly this kind of thing in response. If G5, then because Hans knows like he's giving the piece at this point, but yeah, he can go FE E5, and then yeah, it's these pawns are not so easy to deal with in the center. So that's why, yeah, he's. I totally get this feeling. It's like you think you should take the piece, but you also just want to keep the initiative as well. So you want to just play like E3, G5, and not give white the chance to break loose. But if E3, then there's bishop D3, and then the bishop can land on G6, and then it's not clear if black is. It still looks nice for black, but okay, he does it. He does it.
That's the line
Interesting.
he's going for.
Yeah, so he tries to keep it more practical. Oh, rook e2. I was expecting this one, but then a bishop g6, but then rook e6, I guess, is in response. So rook e2 is nice. He at least gets a square for the bishop back on e1. But
Following up with G5.
yeah, but it's still like, okay, very nice, like pawn storm for black. Knight f6 now, h5, g4, exactly.
And how exactly are you ever going to untangle that dark square bishop on E1? It looks pretty rough.
Yeah, it's hard. Like somehow you want to play like c4 and d5, but then that always gives up squares to black's knight. So you also don't want to touch your c pawn here if you're white.
Maybe he's aiming for queen E2 and then getting his at least queen free. I'm not sure. Maybe bishop C4. Mm,
Yeah,
that
I
might
think
be
that's
what, yeah.
kind of the next move. He's just going to try to sit, maybe play against the clock a little bit. Yeah, bishop e2. But long term, this attack is coming. And now knight e7. Yeah, knight f5. Black's knights just have so many squares. Okay, he got c4 in, so at least there's some counterplay for white. The bishop can come to
Right.
c3 at some point, but
That bishop is free. Someone asked, how does this work? They're playing this and the analysis comes up for us. Yes, they do not have access to eval bars or analysis while they're playing, thankfully. We do, although we try to analyze it as the players are to the best of our abilities. I think
yeah.
it's great for learning. But yeah, the players do not have access to any of this analysis.
Yeah, try to give you guys the human eval while showing you what Compy is thinking about the position. Generally, as the time ticks down, you're going to see like big swings as the engine just sees all kinds of tactical resources. But for players, it's very different. Like when you're down to seconds, you're not really looking for like fancy tactics anymore. You're just looking to like, how do I put a piece on a square that's not unprotected? It's like you're just thinking one
How do I
move
not
ahead.
hang? I mean, that's very important. We've seen all these games being decided by time when players hang pieces under 10 seconds, under 5 seconds. They do have a little bit of increment here,
Ooh,
but it's not a lot. You don't want to get down to increment. That's an interesting move. What do you think? Rook
bishop
C7?
c3. Yeah, he's putting some pins on the position. It still looks really nice for black, like because white's knight on h2 is terrible, bishop on e2 is bad. Like sooner or later, black should be breaking through, but 30 seconds for Bharat, so not so easy. I like this move, rook f7, very solid, keeping everything defended. At some point, the knight has to come into knight f5, bishop f6. Okay, so he's happy to actually trade pieces off here because like if he trades off white's active pieces, white is just left with this like donkey knight on h2, donkey bishop on e2,
Is that a real
and
term? Or is that a
donkey.
Kostya
Yeah,
term?
that's an official term. Yeah,
Are you just, I have no clue. I'm going to start using it in commentary now, and people are gonna think I'm stupid if you're lying to me, Kostya. Actually, this has happened a lot during our commentary, guys, where like Kostya will tell me a term or like a saying and be like, "Oh yeah, everyone knows this. This is like a chess term. This is a chess saying. Like everyone knows this. Your generation, you kids these days." And then it will turn out to be like not a real thing, and I'll just look stupid. So
Yeah. No,
Get an eye out for that.
I'm very good at making stuff up on the spot. But I think it's a donkey. It's like a bad horse. It makes sense. It's if it's not a thing, it really should be. Honestly, I think it's a
A
great
donkey
term.
is a bad horse. Really?
Yeah, I would say so. Anyway, Bharat is taking this one. I think he's got it. He's got knight d4 on tap, and
No, we're gonna
that's
commentators curse it.
that's gonna win. That's gonna win a piece. Um, we have cursed the players a couple times, but that's not on us. That's on them. They're the ones. They're making all the moves.
Someone in chat actually sent a Reddit post about the bishop and the donkey, so apparently it is a thing. It's not just a you thing.
Let's
Very exciting,
go.
but yeah. This pawn looks so powerful, although these two passed pawns, A and B, might have provided counterplay, but I'm not sure if they're in time, especially with the material advantage that black has here.
Yeah, yeah, definitely it's not in time, but like it's always tricky to defend against the pawns. You have to coordinate your pieces perfectly. So we'll see if he's up to the challenge, like with 12 seconds. I mean, it's not an easy
Oh
task at
yeah.
all.
You
But
called this game. I'm not going to call this game. I think this game could. I'll call it as a draw. That's going to be my official prediction for this game.
okay, okay. I think he'll take it. I think he'll take it. I think he'll manage. Kid, I believe in the kid. Rook b2. Okay, knight b2. He's playing for some mates. I don't like that. Rook b2. Oh, takes on b4. All right. There's one
I didn't even
down.
see that. Yeah.
it's
There goes
it's
that pawn.
hard. It's hard. I would be very I wouldn't count on myself to win this, to be honest. I think it's super tricky, but I feel like he's got it. His pieces are in position. Rook a2. Now black can also push the d pawn.
It almost looks like a mating net should be possible here with these pieces, but I'm not quite seeing it.
Yeah, he's close. Oh, there we
Oh,
go.
and there we
There
go.
it is. Oh, there it is.
It happens to the best of us.
Oh, very
And
nice.
that is the first win for Balroth here in this match against Hans Niemann. So we'll see if Niemann is able to come back. This is the loser's bracket, so it means there are not as many matches on the line. Every single one counts. And we did have a request in chat to look at if it's still interesting in going on Fabiano Caruana versus Vincent Keimer,
Yeah, I just
which is
jumped
in a
there
time
and
scramble.
yeah,
Perfect, you're on it.
finishing up their first game here. No idea what's going on. Looks like both sides have passed pawns. And Fabi. Fabi's a dirty player. Okay, he's winning this. Yeah, he's gonna promote his H pawn. Now it's clear when it's knights on the board, the H pawn is just absolutely devastating. And Black's king is in position. Okay, it's still tricky actually. It's still tricky. He has to find some kind of
I
clear
thought it was
way
clear,
here.
Kostya.
I thought it was too, but I realize now that nope, not so easy. And okay, Vincent. Oh, that's a clutch move. Knight takes h2, and now he's holding it. Yeah, now it's clear that he's holding it. But we'll see. Who knows? You never know.
With 6 seconds and 10 seconds on the clock. I mean, both of these players are very strong technical players.
But
So,
now White's better. He's picking up the f4 pawn. Oh my god.
would you
Jeez,
call Vincent
Vincent.
Keimer an online? No, you think Vincent Keimer is a an old timer?
He's a bit of both. I mean, because he's trained by like pure legacy Peter Leko, but of course he's very good in the blitz and the bullets. It's hard to say. I'd say maybe he leans more online, but less so than the other juniors around. Like Faruja is like pure online, pure onliner in the flesh.
Okay. So we see our draw between Keimer and Caruana in the winners bracket semifinals of D3. Well, by the way, guys, tell us where you're tuning in from. Very interested to see. And also, if you find a game that you like, I think it's !game or games, the mods will know. You can tell us and we will do our best to look at them. We're covering D2 and D3.
Yeah, I just jumped to the end of this game between Korobov and Moussard, your namesake, Jules Moussard. And actually, it's very interesting. Korobov just went into this king and pawn endgame down a pawn, but made a draw because he realized it'd be drawn. So kind of clutch hold by him. Let's go on. Yeah, we got lots of other games. We have game 2, Keimer Fabi. That's a winner's match, so 4-game match there. We have Rudik Makarian against Sindarov. Actually, this is looking spicy. Looks like Sindarov basically has a winning attack without having sacrificed anything. So he's
Oh
in
wow.
good shape.
Okay.
Yeah,
I just pulled up that game and immediately I see that king there on F7 and oof. That
just
is
curious
not where you want your king to be.
how this happened. Okay, I'll show for the folks here. So it was a little bit earlier in the game. Black doubled on the F file, rook E1, knight H5, and Makarian just blunders into like very typical tactic. I guess he had knight takes E5 accounted for, but knight G5 is much stronger because then it like weakens Black's king side. And the F2 is defended, and now this G pawn is lost. So yeah, nice play by Sindarov, and then he just lifts his rook up and over, brings the king out, rook H6,
You even rook lift, bro.
rook F6, and takes. Oh, and it's over. Black resigned. Wow.
All the
'cause
tactics.
King takes, queen H8. He wins the queen. This reminds me of a very famous like Tal game. I think Tal Koblenz, where he played the same like rook H6, rook F6 idea, and it was like absolutely crushing. And he wins the match. That's it. I think Rudik is out.
Wow, and that is a strong start there. We have viewers tuning in from Vienna, Ecuador, the UK, all around, especially seems like a lot of European viewers right now. Makes sense with the time zone here. And we have just started the stream, so there's a lot of more action to go. That was super quick. Imagine that. You just play a game or two, and then all of a sudden you are knocked out permanently,
That's
done,
Gone.
done for.
Yeah.
You really have to be on. Yeah.
Very sad, but we'll pour one out for old Rudik. Okay, let's see. Lots of other games. We got Hans round 2, Navarra against Christopher. Oh, Christopher, you
That looks
just
interesting. Yeah.
unleashed,
Oh. Oh,
something.
wow.
What happened here? Okay, hold on.
A brilliancy, pawn takes.
We had a semi-Slav with Fianchetto, and then b4 e5. They each take a horse. c5 rook e1 takes. Bishop takes g2, and then Christopher unleashes knight takes e6. Boom.
Oh, and
wow.
we're gonna get to see the tactic live because it's happening right now with. Yeah, look at this.
Oh, this
All
is
the
just
material is falling.
beautiful.
The position is falling.
Dang, so let me just try to process this. So bishop takes g2, knight takes e6, in between move, gorgeous in between shot, takes queen h5, and oh yeah, you can't give this to Christopher Yu. He'll mess you up.
He's one of the strongest Puzzle Rush champions in the world, right? He's definitely one of the strongest Puzzle Rush players in general, and you really do see that in his games. Yeah.
It's crazy. So now Navarro's looking for just the most beautiful way to lose because he understands his position is completely gone. I mean, wow. Christopher could have taken on c5 with check. He like doesn't even do that. He's just like letting Black go bishop d5 so he can take it. And I mean, yeah, it's just over. Bishop c5, I think mate on the board. Navarro just allows mate. Nice. He's like,
And we have a really nice game going that was suggested by a viewer. It's Keimer Fabi second game. I think some action is occurring there if we want to take a look.
Yeah. This is quite spicy. Let's see what happened here. So, got some kind of English opening from Fabi, and pretty sharp line like knight d5, e4, knight h4. White provokes Black, like allows Black to win the piece with g5, but they figured out that there's lots and lots of compensation for this one. So d4, h6. If Black had taken on h4, then bishop g5 would have been a big problem. So h6, and now g4, rook e8, and knight f5. So the knight gets saved. I'm guessing if gh4 after g4, there would have been like bishop takes h6 followed by bishop g5. And the attack is just, yeah, furious. So rook e8, knight f5, knight takes g4, f3, and okay, Fabi's got 9 minutes on the clock. So he's like, he's out of book, but
yeah.
not long out of book. This is like prep town, basically.
Yeah, if Fabi offers you a free piece in the opening, you better think twice. I mean, he is such a sharp player, great calculator, and he's known for very good prep as well. So I'm sure Kymar just saw the free piece and was like, nope, not today.
Yeah. None of White's moves have like been obvious at all. Like G4, D4, G4, okay, knight F5, F3. No, I mean, so like Fabi might like still be in book, and he's just like trying to just remember. But okay, I think at this point it's probably, the computer probably shows it's like plus 2.5 for White, and they maybe didn't look too further. But anyways, he keeps blitzing out. Knight takes H6. And now he can take on f7, snag another pawn before taking on h2.
And yeah, we have a chatter who pointed out that they hate playing against the English. I completely agree with that. It's actually very deceptive. A lot of people say and think the English is slow, and it can be, but it is difficult to play against. It can
It
be hard
is.
to find something against it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Because it's both strategic and it can also be aggressive. This position's still wild. Okay, both players
This is crazy.
fighting for the h file. Yeah, I love this rook h8. Because if he had taken the knight with the king, then White would have certainly played rook h1 and started going after the king. So rook h8, very nice, very smart move from Keimer, actually. Very, very astute. Very
That
astute.
makes sense. So how do you continue your attack here? What is the best way when both kings are vulnerable now? Yeah, both kings are very vulnerable, Kostya.
I think if I was Fabi, I would consider taking on b4 and pushing d5 and just trying to get the dark squared play going.
Interesting.
But I don't know. You don't want to take this bishop on b4 because it's a little bit sidelined. You also want to maybe just kick it with a3 b4 and then go bishop b2 and then get ready to launch on the diagonal.
Right. That knight
But
also looks very good temporarily on d5 for
yeah,
any sort of attack.
yeah, it's tricky. I guess a3 b4 looks like the most ambitious play. I don't know if it's good, but that seems to be because the knight on h6 is gone. Black is going to take. White will go king g1, and then game will continue. I don't know.
Right.
Okay, he does go a3. So called that one. Bishop a5, I'm guessing. Okay, you can
Not
take the
sure what
knight as
he's
well.
thinking about. Okay.
Basically, he's thinking like whether
Just
he
taking
should take
first
the knight
versus
first. Yeah. I
can't
really,
hurt, can it?
yeah, I don't see a reason not to take the knight. It's like that would be very strange. And then after king g1, maybe you have some extra options, but not really sure what that would be. Bishop is hanging.
Right. Yeah, but he's still thinking, and he doesn't really have a lot of time to think here because he is 3 minutes down on the clock. So that's something to look at as well. It's a difficult position.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. So b4 and Vincent, like I think it's because he knows he's worse, so he's trying to understand like because if he maybe has a chance, he doesn't want to miss it. So okay, he takes at this point. King g1 looks fine. Knight takes d4. We're not worried about that one. We got queen d4 check. So I don't know what he's worried about. He's worried about something.
He might be calculating. I mean, the only other thing he could be considering, right, is King G3, and that would make no sense. So, yeah, and we see it King G1. I bet he's calculating a few moves in advance. Sometimes when you see players pause at like odd moves, they're just looking at
Yeah.
a
No,
bajillion
must
lines
must
in
have been
advance.
must have been it. I mean, maybe he was considering like king g3 and then like trying to fight for the h file like rook h1, but then he was like, nah, just okay, bishop
Play
h3.
simple.
Vincent, okay, playing very spirited. Just leaving the bishop on a5. But rook a2, yeah, I thought this would be the move. I learned a rule recently. If your rook is defending along the second rank, you never get mated. So
Is
this is
that
useful.
true?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Chat, if any of you guys have gone mated with a rook defending on the second rank, you are incorrect. That is, in fact, impossible.
Yeah, it didn't
You've learned
happen.
it here today. It did
Didn't
not
happen.
happen.
Get good.
Learn chess.
But this is really nice. He could have taken the piece. I don't see what was so bad about taking the piece. But he goes rook a2 because this bishop on b6 is gone anyway. Actually, c5 is coming, and yeah, white should be winning this one. But we'll see if Vincent can create some drama.
Absolutely. It's gonna be interesting. It's a very interesting game. We have also a few more games if you wanted to take a look. We have the Wesley So game in Div 2. We have Hans Demon's maybe last game, depending on if he can draw or win it in round 4. And yeah, I think those are two that might be interesting. We can also stick with this game. I'll leave it up to you, Kostya. And if chat doesn't like it, you can yell at him.
Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on the Hans game. He is not yet winning, but he's up on the clock. But we'll keep an eye on it because he is in a must-win situation. Otherwise, he's going home. I think we should stick this one just because it's like such a
Let's
crazy
take a look.
position. But we can still jump around if need be. Yeah, folks, you just let me know. So once Fabi takes a piece, he usually doesn't let it go.
No, absolutely. And with 3 minutes on the clock versus 5 minutes, it doesn't seem like a huge discrepancy, but with a position like this, I think Keimer's going to need all the time that he can get.
Ooh,
Although,
Queen
look at that
h4.
move. Queen h4 is so aggressive.
He's going for it, but bishop takes f4, right? You cover h2, and yeah, I wouldn't really be afraid here if I'm white. Actually, I think like this bishop just holds everything. Maybe there's some. Yeah, I'm not seeing the trick. Might not even be the only move. Like it's not exactly made after queen h2, right? So maybe you even have like rook takes f4, but bishop takes f4 just looks bueno.
Could you just go for L pin with rook g6? I guess that doesn't even get anywhere because there's so many defenders. Rook on the second rank.
Rook on
Wait,
a2, you know.
rook on the second rank, never get mate. No, I was trying to make it rhyme, but it doesn't work.
Rook
I'll
on
leave
the
that to the
second, always
poets.
holding. Yeah, guys, let's workshop this, folks, because as you know,
Rook
knight
on
on
the
f8 has this like propaganda campaign. Knight on f8, you don't get mate. Like it just rhymes. But we need a similar because the rook on this everyone knows about the knight on f8, all right? But the rook on the second, this is fresh. This is fresh.
never rook on the second rank always dank. Rook on the
Hmm.
second rank always never stank. I don't know. There really isn't anything that I can think of there, but maybe
Yeah.
someone in the chat will someone says rook on a2 is good for you. Okay, all right. Not very specific, but it's kind of like vague, kind of fairy tale-ish. So I do appreciate those vibes.
That's pretty good. Rook on the 2, always do.
And
Rook
we do
takes
see
f4. He takes with the rook. A little fancy. I don't get why he didn't take with the bishop. Eval Bar also doesn't understand. I'm just going to put bishop takes f4 on the board. Yeah, Eval Bar loves bishop takes f4. Sometimes these top guys, he spent like 2 minutes on that move. He could have just taken with the bishop. You cover. Like, what was the problem? I generally don't understand. Okay, anyway.
I mean, it's it's hard to say, but also Keimer's going to be calculating some things here. He needs something immediate. And Rook G6, it seems
Rook
like that
d6.
move was not the best because of maybe Rook on A2 is always good for you. What are you going to do?
I guess that wasn't it. Yeah, right now I'd be thinking about sliding over like rook af2, maybe queen f3. No, it feels like white's pieces are defending comfortably. Um, and at some point like he can go knight takes c7. Like once he gets the rook off the diag, So maybe Rook AF2.
The the diag. Okay. Learn new things every single day.
Diag, that's a bug house term.
That is not a bug house term. What are you
Diag.
talking about?
Yeah, like diags, because it's like sometimes you just need a diag, so it's like a bishop, because that's how these bug house players think about the game. It's not like knights and bishops. It's like diags and like you know
You know what I would love
squares.
to see as like a chess.com tournament is like I want you to pair a grandmaster, like a super grandmaster with like a an 800 who learned the rules of chess 3 months ago and have them play Bug House. You know, it'll be two grandmasters and two amateurs, and then see what happens. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
just see how it goes.
I
I
think
feel
that'd
like
be
that could be
fun.
very interesting.
I feel like they did that with like Hand and Brain. They did that for like Twitch rivals or something. It was pretty cool.
I've always like wanted where you have like two very strong players and they're playing blitz, right? But then you have two amateurs whose whole idea is just to mess them up, and they'll just like shout out a move that's like the player has to play no matter what. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that might be pretty funny. But I don't know. Maybe my sense of humor is unique on that one.
No, no, I'd
But
watch
this
that.
position looks pretty good. You'd watch that?
I'd watch that for sure.
They would get
Um,
so frustrated and be really funny.
so some updates, by the way. Christopher Yu did defeat David Navarro. We saw that. So, but we didn't mention that means Navarro is knocked out of the tournament. Christopher Yu advances. Hans looks like he's winning with black, so he'll be forcing an Armageddon. So we'll get at Hans Armageddon soon.
Very
Um,
exciting.
and then we have Division Two as well, where lots of stuff is also happening.
True.
Uh, I don't know if you got those scores up. If you want to
I
check, but
do. Wesley So is 1-0 against Shot Sargison. And then we have Vidit as 1-0 against Jose Martinez. Losers bracket is tied Bach and Lazovic. Fortnick is one versus Durabili. And then Dineshvar is one against David Anton. So I believe that is most of the games. Maybe there's one more. Injik is 1.5 against zero point 0.5 Madaminov. So those are
hmm,
our scores so far for Div 2 as
so
well.
more players possibly getting knocked out. So we might have some Armageddons there. We might have a Bach Lazovic Armageddon, and we'll see about the other matches too.
I thought you were saying baklava for a second, which for you guys who don't know is a Greek dessert and it's very yummy. One of my favorites.
Yeah,
Get it like
I'm
baklazovic.
yeah. You got me thinking about baklava now. The best.
It's so good.
With the honey and the nut. Yeah.
And it's so good. And this is right around dinner time for me, and I think probably around breakfast time for Kostya. So we're dreaming of our baklava there.
Yeah, and
And it looks like
you're in
Fabi,
Spain, so you
yeah,
got access to you got like empanadas in
I
every
got all the
corner. You
food.
got gelato. So
Yeah,
lucky.
Doses Dose says he just had one the other day. I am so jealous. I haven't had baklava in a while, but maybe I can find one here. There's one near my grandma's house. Maybe we can all go. I'll have a tournament at my grandma's house, invite everybody, and just go for baklava after. It
Hmm.
might be fun.
Yeah, Jules Invitational. Why not? Ooh, Rook H4. Okay, that looks like money. That looks like hard cash. Rook
The game will
H4.
probably be ending soon, especially at this time. Look at that. Down two
Because
minutes.
it's
Very
not
difficult
just hitting the
position.
queen. He's got like Queen H7 check as well to just end it. I think Queen H7, yeah, and then Bishop H6 is mate, or Queen H8. Lots of mates. So, great game by Fabi. He takes the lead. Let me know where to jump to. I just pulled up Korobov Musard, their second game. But I know we have losers bracket matches as well. Well, actually, we have one Armageddon coming up that hasn't started yet with Hans. They're gonna bid on the
Maybe we should
time.
take a look at a D2 game while we're waiting for the Hans Armageddon.
Yeah, yeah. Let me go to Bach Lazovic. Oh yeah, game two. Oh, and Lazovic might be winning this one. Oh, this is huge. If he wins this, he knocks Benjamin Bach out of the tournament and back into commentary. So
Oh
Bach
no.
desperately
Is
trying
that
to
like a
stay.
punishment? So these players, right, they get to play, but if they lose, they have to do commentary with me.
Yeah,
Every single last one of them.
he's trying to stay on the field.
That's so funny. Maybe that should be, we were saying karaoke is the official punishment, but that might be a good one too. We'll
Yeah.
make them play Hand and Brain with a bunch of us, you know?
Okay, Queen G7. Okay, he's trying desperately to hold on, but yeah, his position looks extremely suspect. White has just so much pressure here. Queen D5. Rook F7 is a thing.
And Losvik looks very intimidating in his photo. Like,
He
I'm not
does.
sure if he has all those medals in the background. Is that what those are? I think those are all chess medals in his background.
Yeah, those
Uh,
are Title Tuesday
a little
medals.
scary there.
Every time.
They send them out special engraved with your
Yeah.
username.
No, he's yeah, lightning fast, you know?
Absolutely. He's super fast and he's such a strong player. He's beat Magnus before, won championships. He's also gone tournaments where he's been knocked out almost first. He's one of those players who you never really know which side of them you're going to get just yet, probably because he's a little bit younger. But he has so much potential going into this and he can definitely keep up with the best. So, tough opponent.
No, no, super strong. And yeah, I was just looking at this position. He had so many options. He just goes for the quiet move, Rook D1, which is very interesting. And I'm wondering if he's setting up Queen D5 or if he's looking for Rook takes C6 now or Bishop G3. But very difficult move to deal with. Just Rook D1, just like non-forcing. Now Bach is, yeah, less than 10 seconds to play this position. Very tough. Very tough.
No, absolutely.
Six. Queen D5 now.
Queen D5, look at that.
Or maybe you can take on C6.
That's brutal.
That might be... No, I don't know.
Really?
Taking on C... The problem is you don't have the second Rook C1 check, actually. So maybe that's not so easy.
I mean, Queen D5 looks good with that pin. Maybe the rook slides back to C8, and you might be able to get away with pushing the pawn or doubling your rooks, taking the pawn. There's a lot of
Okay, there we go.
options.
Bishop G3.
I didn't even see that. Bishop G3, right? You don't want to hang your bishop there.
Yeah, just getting the bishop in as well. Okay, Rook E8. Bach, though, okay, it's going to be a scramble.
Holding on.
But Dennis is
11
so fast
seconds
in
now.
He's just...
Oh, but with 8 seconds, let's hope he sees his time and doesn't flag. I'm always worried they're not looking, but they are on top of it. Queen takes, which apparently is a blunder, and Bach finds this
he's
so
back
quickly.
in.
Best
He's
defense.
back in the game now. And now
There
this
we
is
go.
like,
Look at that.
this is anyone's game.
And he is a great speed player as well, Bach.
He is. But Lazovic is a real monster. Queen C3 check. Now Queen H8, infiltrate, take on H7. Yeah, see, he's turned it on. He stopped trying to win the game on the board and he started trying to win on the clock. And now
To win it on the clock. And it's the onliners nowadays. Would you consider Bach to be an onliner or an old timer? What do you say?
He's very good online. He's I would say maybe he's more of an onliner. He used to be Legacy. For sure. But yeah, we can see just the practical advantage of the bishop here over the knight. This bishop is just so strong. Like it can put pressure on b6. It defends the king. And what's the knight doing? Like on d8, like literally just hopping around. Rook takes a5.
Oh, and look at that. You've got that tactic, a5.
Yeah, absolute demolition. Something about Dennis, when he starts playing bullet, it's just insane.
We were talking about some of those players who get better under time pressure, and this is not just a thing regulated or relegated to GMs. Also, a lot of amateurs, when they stop thinking as much, their moves get better. It might be an intuition thing. What do you think?
Yeah, or I mean, I don't know. I think he's just kind of lightning fast. But yeah, his intuition is incredible. But also, he just finds good moves. Like he at this point, he's got 9 seconds. He's like back to calculating. It's like it's no longer bullet mode, and yeah, it's over. It's over. So he
And
wins.
there we see it. And
Oof.
was that a loser's bracket? Yes, it was. Sending Ben home to do more commentary as well. Lazovic moves through in the loser's bracket. And I believe, it looks like Fidit and Jose Martinez have a 1-1 tied score as well. Do we have the Armageddon game coming through yet on D3? Probably one to look through.
Yeah, looks like Hans and Barath are in Armageddon.
Let's see it.
This just started. Let me go back. Looks like it was, you guessed it,
he
Italian game.
He bid heavy there. Oh, wow. He must have bid like 6 minutes.
Yeah, he started off
to
with
get the black pieces.
not a lot of time. Yeah, so Hans must-win situation. He's got 3.5 minutes on the clock, no increment, and kind of nice position. He's going for the king side here.
But then again, Armageddon, for you guys who don't know, this is our first Armageddon of the day. And in fact, Armageddon does not have any increment. One player will bid, and the lower bid has to play with the time they bid versus the other opponent's full time, but they get to choose which color they play with. Black has draw odds. So Balroth just needs to gain a draw, and he will move forward in this bracket. This is a very important match because the loser of this goes home.
That's right. They're on their last life, and it will be the last game for one of them that they'll ever play in this event.
That is very dramatic. I agree. I think we should make the punishment commentary with me, like just force all of them to do the rounds if they're in the losers bracket, you know.
Yeah, let's.
You have to commentate one match for free. There you go.
Force the players to join the Div 2 commentary.
Join our team. Honestly, why not? We'll put that in our official feedback box for that one.
Hans is a good commentator, you know.
I have, yeah.
If this doesn't go well for him, he speaks his mind. He can certainly commentate on a position.
He commentated. Was it Hikaru versus? No, who did he commentate? He commentated perhaps Magnus versus Alireza in SEC for a little bit.
Yeah, in the final.
Trying to remember which one exactly it was in the final. Yeah,
they gave him the
that
mic.
Was great. All the players came and did a round of commentary for all the other players, which was really interesting. You don't often get to see that.
Yeah. So I think it's great when the players step in for commentary. That's why I think more tournaments should consider having an odd number of players. So one player is always available as like a guest commentator. I think that'd be super cool.
That's a very interesting idea. They could make it part of like accommodations, you know? You get an extra nice hotel if you commentate for a little bit.
Yeah, it's just part of the package.
Yeah.
You get tournament conditions, and then part of that is just spending 1 hour with the commentary or whatever. That's it.
We're inventing all these new things today. This is a very inventive stream. We've got our thinking hats on.
Yeah.
And we'll see what's going on here, but this looks like a little bit of an odd position. Pieces have been simplified. A lot of pieces are off the board. This pawn clump in the middle looks nice, but it's still, there could be an attack for white. I'm just struggling to see exactly where it is here.
Yeah, I feel like black is fine. The king is a little bit loose, but all of black's pieces are kind of nicely in position. And we got these opposite color bishops that are just kind of staring past each other. They want to fight. They want to fight against each other. They just can't. They have to fight for different squares. But to me, I don't know. Yeah, I kind of like black's situation because you got the center and dark square bishop just looks nice on e5, for example. Now he's got the g file as well, so we can try to lift the rook up to g6.
You rook lift?
Yeah, I think both players are gonna have to.
Are gonna have to rook lift there.
Yeah, b6. So Hans is gonna have to figure this out. So this is a very important game, guys, because this is Armageddon. Loser goes home. If they draw the game, that means white goes home as well because black has draw odds. So critical line. I know we got other matches as well, but we'll keep an eye. Got Keimer Fabi round 3. They still have one more game to go in their match, and then Korobov Musard. Looks like Musard is up 1 point there, so Korobov is gonna try to bounce back in the next one.
Absolutely there, and Div 2 still has some games going on, but they're in the midst of it, so we have time there to check those out. Yeah, I think this is an important one to see. Also, the Fabi Keimer one is very important. Keimer needs to score a win, otherwise, I think it might just be over. Yeah.
Let's see. He's down a point. He can still draw this one and then win the last one.
He can draw this one?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2.5. First to 2.5, and he's on 0.5 so far.
But if he loses, then it's over. Yeah, on the spot.
Yeah, it would be hard to come back even with a draw. He would have to win his last game. I believe he'll have the black pieces as well. I don't know. This is a very critical game for him.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. You got white against Fabi. You're down a point. You got to win.
And speaking of this game happening right now between Hans Niemann and Baroth, the time is evening, and that time odds is a huge part of having the white pieces in these Armageddon matches. And now he's only a minute ahead when I think he started around 4 minutes ahead, if I'm correct.
Yeah, so he's slowly catching up. He's still ahead, which is nice because, yeah, with that increment, a lot of times this can just come down to the scramble. But like, yeah, on the position, black looks fine. I guess the question is like, can black like force a draw? Because if they just keep maneuvering around over and over again, eventually Hans will flag him. So black needs to like make something happen on the king side here.
Right? There's no increment. I completely forgot about that one.
Yeah,
And it's
that's
tough
important.
playing with increment, changing it up as well. Sometimes I think it's even harder playing with increment than playing without increment because at least without increment, you know your time is your time. But with increment, it makes you feel like you have more time than you actually do. So I don't
Mm.
know. But switching up between the two, it can be difficult for time management.
I still, yeah, I prefer with increment for sure. I like having the safety net. I think most players do as well. You know, they want things to be decided on the board. So like f8. Okay. I was thinking he should play like queen g5, queen f4, like try to provoke some further weaknesses because he can't just sit with like rook f8 and not do anything. He has to. Ooh, rook a3. Okay, b pawn was hanging, but he didn't want to take.
The
Queen
interesting thing
h6.
here, Balroth is not just going for a draw here. It looks like he's being incredibly aggressive. That's pretty important because when you play for a draw, like you said, sometimes, you'll just get flagged in these kinds of positions. But he's being aggressive. He's making it difficult for his opponent, trying to
Mm.
dwindle him down to equal time. I don't know. I don't know. I do think Hans is the stronger blitz player in general, but with draw odds,
Yeah,
anything
no,
could
I think
happen.
yeah, I think Hans is one of the best bullet players in the world for sure. So if it comes down to like 1-0, then I think Hans has the edge. Um, but the position, of course, is a long way away from that. Like they've got like a 3-0 game before they have to play a 1-0, basically.
And look at this move. You're forcing G3 here, which
Yeah, I
seems
like
like a
this.
bit of a concession.
Yeah, because now at least he has like more targets, and he can try to. He needs to get this H pawn up. He needs to go like Queen G5, H5, H4. Need to get
Yeah,
some purchase against the white king side. Ooh, F4. Not like that though. I don't know about that. No, actually that
F4
looks
was the
fine.
move that immediately popped out. Yeah, it looks a
That
little
looks nice.
scary. Yeah,
He's giving the
it's
E
it's
pawn,
a little
but
scary.
then you're I guess we're taking on G3, and then there's gonna be Queen D2 check. So it takes on E4.
Makes sense. You have to prevent the threat on F3. Probably F takes G. F
Ooh,
takes G,
F3.
and the king actually looks
Oh,
a
I guess
little
if
bit
he
safer than it
if
could
he
be,
had
no?
taken on G3, then Black could just take twice on G3 with some nasty tactics there. I think.
Right. And these kids and their tactics nowadays, I don't know.
They,
I feel like some of these kids, they're born, they're weaned and their parents give them some puzzle rush to do in their cribs and they just
yeah.
like grow up with this and then their tactics are just crazy sharp, you
No, it's
know?
ridiculous. They've done like 10,000 tactics by the time they're 8 years old. It's like, jeez.
I've been trying to teach my mom chess because she's asked me for chess lessons. She's finally trying to learn. And I told
Nice.
her, like, the number one thing, if she wants me to teach her, I need her to do tactics. It's just so important for any player. Even at the highest level, you see tactics come up all the time. Even in slow positional moves, there's usually tactics behind them.
Yeah, no, tactics, I agree, super important. Like, most important thing by far to train when you're a newer player. I like what Hans is doing, by the way. He's just like trying to hold the fortress. He's 100% just playing on the clock. He's just trying to hold everything and not let black break through. And like it might be a positional draw, but like you still have to make moves. So if
Do you
black
now?
has no way of like to force things, he's kind of in trouble here. I'm thinking.
No, absolutely.
Okay, there he goes. Rook
It's
f6, rook
tough.
h6. So he has a threat. He wants to double and take on h3. So at least he's got something. But queen d3 from Hans, prepping bishop f5 in case of rook h6. So Hans is like, yeah, he's playing this. He's playing this very smart, I think.
It's a good practical decision, right?
Hmm.
Just making a lot of complications, dwindling your opponent's time down, and then you can go for the win, or even just flag them. Although usually I think in these positions we see a player making a completely losing move instead of flagging.
Oh yeah, we're gonna
Although
see
it's
some
basically the
question
same
marks
thing.
for sure,
Yeah.
for sure. That's the other thing. At some point, yeah, the position could totally devolve, and White could overtake the initiative. But yeah, he doesn't really need to. He's just like up 2x on the clock, and if you can just prevent black from breaking through, he's got this. A6, so he doesn't even give any open files. Just A6.
And various chats, who do you think will win this? Will Balroth win with draw odds? I guess a draw is also a win for him. Or will Hans manage to flag him, make him mess up with his minute down? What do you think? I'm very interested to see. Commentators are notoriously not too bad or pretty bad at guessing these kinds of things.
Yeah, Compy didn't like that last move, Queen H6. I'm guessing it might have been C5 for White, but yeah, I think Han's not looking to open things up. Rather, he wants to just keep everything under control. Bishop on G4. Okay, Black is going to play H5 for sure to try and dislodge this bishop at some point. But oh, C5. Okay, he plays it here. This might give some chances for Bharat though to take and then bring his rook to the B file somewhere. Rook B2 check. Rook takes G4. Wow.
What a move.
Wow. What a move. What a move. I don't know if it's enough for more than a draw, but dang.
Well, all he needs is a draw.
True. Oh, he was going to force a draw. Oh, if White had taken, he could force a draw. That's a great point. So it would
That's
have been
even
takes
better.
and then like G2 check, and then Black looks to have perpetual.
And that is why Hans might be making a move that the compy hates, but honestly, you cannot allow that perpet, or else you might as well be lost here with draw odds. Although apparently we're seeing blunders on the clock as each player has, well, Hans has a minute 40 seconds, and Balroth is down to under a minute here. Look at that.
Yes, absolutely crazy. Very hard to play this. Looks like Hans has chances now. So yeah, his gamble 100% paid off. He just managed to keep it crazy, and yeah, it's just impossible to play perfect chess in such a sharp position. So it takes. Okay, White has two queens now, but Black has the attack. He's got the second ring. Oh, Queen B3. That's a clutch move, forcing the queen
That was
off. All
very
right,
nice.
he's got queen for rook and bishop, and yeah, again he has that lead on the clock. So even if he doesn't win it on the board, he can definitely try and flag the guy.
Also, that advanced a6 pawn, if you can pick off b7 without hanging something, then you're happy.
Right. Rook c8. Okay, Black coordinating nicely. This bishop on e5 is just a rock. I think this would be tough to win. Bishop takes f4. He might have a fortress now.
With both players getting kind of low on time.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, they're
Hans
going to
still has a
start
30
blitzing
second
now.
lead.
Rook c2. Bharat defending this fantastically, by the way. I mean, just like amazing. With
And he's found some amazing tactics too,
the low
especially for
time.
getting that draw.
Yeah, yeah.
Honestly, the accuracy won't even give him the credit he deserves. Like he's finding every single forced draw opportunity, forcing Hans to make some difficult choices, playing very well, but with the time, will it be enough?
Yeah, I don't know. Now he's banking on this G pawn. Oh, but he lost the A pawn. Oh no, this is not good. This is not good. No, the queen's too strong here. Now he's got A7 coming. No, no way Black holds this now. No way. Rook A2, King E6, H4. And
Ooh,
somewhere white has to give checks and make a new queen. Oh, we got h5. Oh, it's all over now. Oh, Hans is taking over.
especially with 9 seconds, no increment.
That's it. He got the queen, and now queen versus bishop. He has to convert this.
This is like it looks harder. Like it is much harder than it looks.
Oh, absolutely.
Definitely.
Absolutely. But he's got the time as well. And I
Yeah,
think
he's
he's
got the
just
time
going to flag him.
advantage.
He's just going to play on the light squares, and that's it.
Don't want to accidentally repeat though. Got to be a little careful there. But yeah.
Yeah. Don't repeat.
And we see it.
That's
We
it.
see it. Hans managing to clutch the Armageddon game, moving forward in the losers bracket. Baroth playing a great match, but unfortunately out of the losers bracket, heading home for this tournament. So yeah, that was a crazy game, Kostya. That
Yeah,
was insane.
that was wild. Very nicely played by Hans. Very practical. Very well played by Bharat, like on the board. But unfortunately, okay, he started off with a very low bid, and he was never able to fully catch up on the clock. Yeah, so that was tough. Hans played that one very well. I just switched to the Keimer Fabi game because if Fabi wins this, then he can actually win the match here and now, and he has a very nice position with the two bishops against Keimer's rook. Very active queen. So this is feisty, very spicy.
And up on time as well. 22 seconds to 3 seconds. This is not Armageddon. They do have increment. We probably won't see a flag, although I guess we could, but I doubt it.
No, we might. He got 0.2 seconds there. Queen d2. Queen g1 check.
It's
h4.
scary.
It feels like it should be some mate. Where's the mate? Queen g1 and
But with
h4.
10 seconds, he is calculating it. He wants to see it all, doesn't want to mess it up. Bishop check.
Bishop
That makes a
g1.
lot of sense.
I don't know if that was it. I feel like the coordination's all off, but okay. Keimer has no time to defend this bishop d4. Apparently white's better.
Oh,
Rook
he
c1.
went down to like 0.1 seconds. That is so stressful. All of these moves make a lot of sense here. But oh, look at this eval bar with,
And,
oh my gosh, going down on time. This is so scary for both players.
Queen h6. g4.
I'm so
Just go
glad we have increment
g4.
here.
h4. Oh no. Oh man, this has just gone completely off the rails.
Locking it up.
A4. Neither player has any
Oh,
idea what's going on. I don't blame them. I mean, this position, you're just trying to make moves and not flag. But now, okay, they got
not
some
lose the
seconds.
piece.
I think they're about to calm down and start playing good moves again. They're about to like refocus.
Blitter's paradise. I mean, it is what it is when you have like 9 seconds on your clock, 8 seconds.
C2. Oh, Fabi's bishops are playing now. All those bishops are playing. Okay, now it's done.
Oh, and is
Oof.
over. Fabi
Oof.
is moving on in the winner's bracket with a nice impressive score of 2.5 to zero point 0.5. That was definitely a game.
That was
I love when they get
that
into
was
time
definitely a
scrambles.
game. Jeez
I think we
Louise.
have a Vidit versus Jose Martinez in Div 2 as well.
Yeah, let me
They are
jump
tied
there.
up 1-1.
So 1-1 looks like Jose has the edge in this one though. A little bit better with black. Actually soon going to be winning at least one pawn in the position. So okay, chance for Jose to score and take the lead. Oh, there's a Bortnik Armageddon. Let me see if I can find that. Oh, Bortnik Dorbaili. Yeah, we got to jump here. Oh, and he just
All
won.
right, we can take a look.
I just caught the very end. I'll just back up a couple moves, but looks like Bortnik managed to knock out Vasif, winning as white in the Armageddon.
You know, I feel a little stupid because yesterday I said like black is the color you want for Armageddon. Like every single time I see them winning, and today we have two whites even with draw odds winning again. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'll have to change my mind about the best strategy for Armageddon.
Yeah, it kind of shifts, right? Like black wins some games and white wins some games. Yeah, very hard to call. Okay, I'll jump back to the Wesley So game. No, not Wesley So. Vidit against
It
Jose
was Vidit,
Martinez.
Jose
Wesley won
Martinez.
his match actually against Sean Sargisian, 2.5 half.
Very a very convincing win.
Very convincing way. So convincing, it ended before we
We
even got a
believe
chance
it.
to see it.
All right, we shall take a look. By the way, we have all the chats up. Um, Yeah, and we will be seeing more from Wesley coming up. It will be Hans versus Gelfand next too. That will be very, very interesting.
Oh wow, Hans Gelfand. Now that's legacy versus online if I've ever seen
Onliner,
one.
I know. Oh,
Okay, this
all
game
right.
I
And in
think
this match here,
looks like a draw. White can take on d8 and go knight d6 if I'm not mistaken. Um, I guess there's bishop c7, but still, bishop takes f7 check. Should be a draw. Should be a draw here. So these guys are going to go into their fourth game all tied up, and Jose will have white. That game is another draw. Then they'll be playing Armageddon in this match.
by the way, welcome everybody to Julius Baer Generation Cup. This is Div 2, Div 3. You can find the games on chess.com if you have a game or a player you would like us to follow. There are a bunch of them, very strong players. Let us know in chat. We have all the chats up. We're listening. We hear you. And it's always very helpful, especially since we have some great games to get through.
Yeah,
If
we
this
hear
one looks like
you
it's going to be a.
and we
Go ahead.
see you. Yeah, this
The.
one's a draw. Let me jump to Div 3. I got Korobov against Musard.
Sure.
This is another because I think there's going to be a bit of a break in the losers bracket as they losers matches are all done, and then they're going to be playing their next match soon, I believe. But for the winners bracket, these matches are still ongoing. So Musard is up 1 point against Korobov, and okay, Korobov
As
has
much
white
as
here, so he's going to be trying to maybe bounce back.
Coast, yeah. Can we have? I love our end games. Could we look at the end of our Bardia, Dineshvar versus Injik game in losers bracket round 3, and
Okay,
then we'll
yeah,
go back to the end game. I think we can. I think it will be the same as we go back.
we can jump there. Yeah, yeah. It's just because that game is like game 3, so that match is approaching its critical stage. It looks like Daneshvar is winning this first game, so they're actually ahead a bit. Oh, we're also going to get Bortnik against Lazovic soon, so that's a match. Holy moly,
That's a match.
that is a
Oof.
match.
We're spoiled here.
That is like online versus online. I mean, Bortnik is like legacy online. That's how online he is. One of the original. Um, but
I do always see him playing.
oh yeah, He's been around for years. But Bardia here, both of these players I saw recently in Budapest at the Olympiad. Injic playing for Serbia and Danishvar for Iran. Injic, by the way, very tall, one of the tallest players.
Noted.
Yeah, very tall guy. He stands
How
out.
tall? 6'7", 6'8"?
Oh yeah, no, he's approaching 7. He's like
Really? He could be a basketball player.
absolutely any day.
And he chose chess.
And he chose chess. Yeah.
Thank you
One
for
of
the good
us.
luck, Bishop. Appreciate it. We're having a lot of fun in commentary, talking about which chess players could be also basketball players as well, which I don't think there's a huge overlap usually, but apparently we found one.
Yeah, you got Injic, you got Peter Heine Nielsen is very tall. Here, Johann Sebastian Christensen, also super tall.
Apparently Kramnik is 6'5". Wow. I
Kramnik's a
feel like I
tall
did
guy.
know that. I don't know if that's tall enough for basketball, but it might be.
He could be a point guard. Point guard.
There you go.
Keimer also, he's sprouted up. Yeah, there are a lot of tall folks in chess. Jan Gustafsson, Leko, a lot of guys.
But how do you know all this?
Because you
Do you
see
just
them
have
in
like a
person
chart
and
on
they're
all the
all like
players'
giants.
heights?
They're all just giants. Van
Oh
Whaley also
boy.
just towering above everyone. Anyway,
There we go. Very, very exciting.
all top players like walking and all top players are tall. That's the rule. So if you're tall and you like walking, you have really good chances in chess. Really good.
There you go. You heard it here first. Exactly what you need. And this is a nice move, a6. Obviously, you can't take the pawn. You will be losing a rook. And yeah, I don't know. That pawn is probably just gonna be climbing. will be having issues eventually.
Yeah. Oh
And
boy.
I'm not sure the best defense for that, but while we are waiting, we can also go. We have some interesting matches coming up. We have the last match between Jose Martinez Vidit. We have Bortnik Lazovic, Hans Gelfand, Injik, Jeanette Joshvar is the one we're looking at right now. See if anything else in Div 3 as well.
Yeah, I'm guessing Bardia should convert this one. Um, but it's
And in the
not
match, go ahead.
so easy. Not so easy. But he's doing really well. A7 now, that's a very annoying move. A7 is really nasty because he's going to take on B7 with check. And yeah, black is not going anywhere against white's king.
So are you calling the game? Or do you still think there's life in it?
I mean, no, there's definitely life in it, but I think he's gonna take it. I think he's got good chances.
All right. Then
Absolutely.
also, chat, if you have a game you want us to check out, let us know and we are happy to check it out. I'll see. Neiman is not out. He is still in loser's bracket. Um, maybe it seems like D3 has mostly just started, or D2 has mostly just started, and D3 we have the same. It looks like Milsard will be able to move through in the winner's bracket, perhaps, if he can manage to convert, but or no, actually, I think it will go to Armageddon. Or it might be no, they're going to have their last round. Winners bracket semifinals, Musar Korbov is going to have their last round if Korbov is able to convert in this position. But it's a bit of a time scramble there as well. And results, we have Sindarov versus you. Sindarov has 1 point. They're on currently their second game. Gelfand and Hans drew their first game quickly, a pretty quick draw there as well. Gelfand was playing as white, so it looks like Hans was happy to take that draw and have the white pieces this round. Early queen trade, so we might be seeing some positional riz there.
Some positional riz.
Yes.
Hilarious. We're seeing some
And then
heavy piece riz here.
we also have, perhaps we should look at Vidit Jose Martinez in their last game so far.
Yeah. Let's just maybe we can watch this one till the end because I think they're almost done, and then we can jump over to Vidit. They should have time. Yeah, their game just started, so we'll be able to catch that as well.
Sounds good.
Um, and then yeah, we'll keep an eye on it. And then you got Bortnik Lazovic, and then Hans Gelfand that's also starting, huh? Soon. So
That has
that's like
started. They drew their first game.
they already drew their first game.
Yeah, they drew their first game.
Oh,
And they're
interesting.
on their second game so far. And queens are off the board. But remember, loser's bracket is less games than winner's bracket.
Yeah,
So
only two
there's also
games.
less wiggle room there.
Yeah. King E1, D3. Okay, Injich, he's still trying to make something happen, but he's down a rook, and it's really tough. It's really
You
tough
just
to
have to
do
keep fighting.
something against the extra rook F5. He's going. But okay, rook B4, rook B7. He's also like pinned up. Rook D4, queen D8 check coming. Okay, I'll call this one. Yeah, Danishvar is going to take it. Let's check out Vidit against Jose Martinez. This is their fourth game, so there's no winner here. They traded wins. They made a draw. If someone wins this match, it's over. Otherwise, they're going to Armageddon.
Yeah, and I think
And
that it's really going to try to push for the win here. I'm not sure in an Armageddon match between Jose Martinez and Vidit who would come out victorious. I think Vidit all around is the stronger player, but Jose Martinez might have a bit of an edge when it comes to blitz. So I don't know. It could be anyone's game,
yeah,
anyone's match should it come to Armageddon.
absolutely. Um, Vidit is like, in classical chess, it's all Vidit, but in online, this is Jose's territory.
Yeah,
This is his
he's
turf.
a titled Tuesday menace, Jose Martinez, winning a lot of them, probably having beaten Vidit a few times in them as well. Although Vidit is such a strong all-around player, a lot of times, really, most of the times I've seen him lose matches, it's because he flags himself or makes a
Right.
a blunder under extreme time pressure. So
Yeah, he's one of those guys. He'd
yeah,
rather flag than make a blunder, but you can't have that mindset in this kind of format. You need to be willing to play bad moves to win the game.
I mean that's how it goes sometimes.
But let's keep an eye on the Hans match as well, because I don't want to miss that second game. So you let us know if that gets interesting.
But yeah, it is actually it's an endgame, but it's an endgame favoring Gelfin, who's playing as black. If we want to take a look at that.
Okay, yeah, let's check it out because this is a elimination game, so this could be last game for some of these players. Let me open this up. Losers brackets, round 4. I think I might need to refresh. And wait, one sec, folks. One sec. We got chess.com wants to be fancy here, making me re-log in to, to
Maybe,
watch the games.
guys, you're all gonna see Kostia's password right now, so make sure to take note. No, I'm just kidding.
Don't.
That's like my worst fear when it comes to streaming is accidentally like showing a password or like
Oh
I don't
yeah.
know,
No, I've
having my
leaked.
mom walk in with my social security number.
I've
Would
leaked
you leak?
everything. My bank account, my emails. Okay, here we go.
If anyone has that information, send it over. I think I want to buy some pizza today.
Yeah, yeah. My
Just kidding.
DoorDash deets definitely. Yeah, all leaked. Um. Okay,
This
so
is
I
a
got
very
game
subtle
two up,
position, yeah.
and I see something happened with the bracket. Let me just quickly fix that.
While you fix it, we'll take a look at this game right here, right now. It is currently Gelfan's turn to move, and he is down 3 minutes. This is something we saw in his match before. He was able to keep up the pressure, had a huge advantage in the match, but ended up tying it and having to go to Armageddon due to, I believe this was the first round, due to just time management, general time management. So it's really important to stay up on the clock, although this is not Armageddon, so he does have increments, and he's managing to keep the advantage here.
Right, I remember
Gelfin
that. Yeah,
is known for his
Gelfin. He
positional
just
chess,
like
yeah.
he wasn't willing to flag his opponent. He just
And
couldn't play fast enough. Basically, it was very sad.
and he is the positional guy, right? Like
Oh
he
yeah,
is Mr. Positional there. I actually stole one of his books from you once. I'm sad I didn't take it with me though. But
positional decision
he
making in chess.
making in
Great
chess,
book.
yeah,
One of the great modern
fantastic
chess
book.
books. Absolutely.
I think I got through most of it during my tenure in St. Louis, but I might buy it again because it's just a really interesting book and definitely a classic. It's been recommended to me and other people so many times here. Opening up those rooks, we have a knight g6. It makes a
Yeah,
lot of sense here.
Hans has probably read that book a bit.
I'm sure he has. It feels like maybe there are some threats here eventually with f5. Okay, yeah, we see it on the
Yeah,
board.
love Black's position here. Just everything super nice and active. A
Yeah,
lot of
this is one of
pressure.
those moments where the eval doesn't seem quite to catch up to the uncomfortability of a position, probably because with best defense, it's just fine. And honestly, Hans might find the best defense, but in this position, it looks a little bit tough.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see if he's up to the challenge. Can the student become the master?
Maybe they'll have a positional decision making part two with both of them as co-authors. I'm not sure. Honestly, I would read it.
At
Could
this
be
point, I
interesting.
could I could believe anything. Any timeline is possible. Okay, a4, advancing this way.
Some good practical counterplay. Something Hans has been very good at in these games has been finding a lot of practical decisions, making a lot of practical choices. It helped him in the last round. Gelfin, of course, is great at these squeezes, getting the queens off the board, getting this end game. This is his territory, although he's down 4 minutes. Wow,
Yeah,
that is a huge time disadvantage.
he's got to deal with this a5 thing. It's kind of annoying. Like, what do you do here? Engine says black is fine, but like maybe c6? I don't know. I feel like c6 is the move. Okay, he goes a5. But I don't love that, because now white takes on b6. You got to take with the c pawn. That doesn't look fun. It doesn't look like a nice structure. I don't know.
Maybe eventually you can open up that bishop on the diagonal, although I'm sure he won't allow it to happen.
Yeah, and then you got the
But yeah.
And Hans, okay, big advantage on the clock. So I think he's going to be putting old Boria to the test, It's just, but it's second game. So actually, if this one is a draw, then go to Armageddon. Armageddon bid will be very interesting for this one. I'm kind of hoping we
Armageddon
see
will be so good.
Yeah.
It will be interesting because I think Gelfin will want to bid very low to get those draw odds. That would probably be in his favor, although it seems like he's taking up a lot of time in these games, so he might be afraid of flagging. I'm not sure what exactly would happen there, but if Gelfin gets white, he'll have to be extremely aggressive, which could be some fun chess for us. I hope it goes to Armageddon, selfishly. I feel like that would be very interesting.
That would be fun. By the way, folks, just updating results. We didn't get a chance to see this match, but Sindarov did defeat Christopher Yu, knocking him out of Division 3 and advancing to the next stage.
There you go.
So big result there. Both very talented
the
juniors.
Pun? Okay. I won't repeat the pun. It was a good pun, though.
Oh, I missed it. Oh, no.
I said, there you go. Get it? Like, there you go.
Hilarious. Christopher has a great name for punning.
I thought that was good. Bishop Star says, what would the commentators bid if they were in Armageddon? It depends on my opponent, but I don't know. I probably wouldn't bid that low because I know I'm a bit of a slow player, and also at the slightly lower levels than this, I'm not sure in my ability to force draws. I think generally anyone under the top 100 or so players have a really tough time just playing something drawish. That's why whenever people are like, oh, I don't want to play Petrov because it's too drawish, you kind of look at them like, okay. Because it's just tough. So I think I'd probably bid maybe like 8.5 minutes, 9 minutes. What about you, Kostya?
I say go big or go home. I'm bidding 4 minutes. I'm just like... No, I'm just
Are
kidding.
you now?
No, I probably bid like... It really depends on who. If it's like a solid player, I'll bid lower. Like if I'm playing Gelfand, then I'll bid like 6 minutes. And then if I'm playing someone like Naka, then I'll be like maybe 7. Someone faster.
Right. And chat, what would you bid in Armageddon? Do you have any specifics? That was a great question, Bishops, by the way. Thank you for that. Also, in this game, there has to be a lot of practical decisions made here as well. I think if Gelfand can hold the draw, he'll be happy. The match will be completely tied up. But he'll have to hold on to his time a little bit because he's now 4 minutes under in the clock.
At this point in the clock, I feel like is kind of a concern for Black, and he should be happy with a draw. Although I feel like he was playing for more earlier, so it's always hard to adjust psychologically. But Hans might be able to sneak out a win here if he's accurate. F6. It's a nice start. Just loosening up Black's king side a bit. H6. Okay. Maybe rook G1.
Blazing says being Black is a big perk, so I'd say 6 or 7 minutes. That's true. It is a big perk, although you just have to still be able to draw a game, and that's tough. But these players, of course, are very good at that. They know their openings. They know which positions are sharp and which are not. So tends to be the general consensus.
Yeah. Okay.
Gelfand's thinking
again.
5 minutes down.
I feel like you should just go G5. I don't see the problem. And then but he's spending a lot of time on every decision, and it's going to be very hard because still some pieces on the board. I mean, this and white has a passed pawn. I feel like black is fine, but still, it's not so easy to play. Okay.
Okay, making a
97.
move quickly. And maybe rerouting our knight to b4 makes a lot of sense unless they can push d4, but I don't think they really can with that rook kind of
Yeah.
there on d8. So I like that decision. That makes sense. That outpost is just like calling to us, you know? Although, yeah, he's gonna try to make some trouble there.
No, it's definitely a smart plan. Okay, knight d5. Yeah, he's coming to b4. He's allowing white to take on h6 because knight b4 will create some drama. But will Hans take? No, I think he's gonna find some patient move, like king e2. No, king e2 allows check. Okay, rook f7. Never mind. But what does he want? A knight b4, knight e5. Knight e5 he's got to hold everything together. Ah, that's
Knight
nice.
e5.
Knight's coming to e5. Rook f7 is very nice. Now he's kind of taking over a bit. Oh, okay. This is very dangerous for Gelfand. Very dangerous. Rook e8,
Rook
double question
e8.
mark. I don't know why. Rook d7. I guess that wasn't it. Knight b4.
But now you get your rook. You do get your rook on d7. That king might come in to displace it a little bit. Knight takes. Apparently, it was not the right time to take, but still,
Yeah,
they're
so
both
rook
playing fast. I don't think
d6.
Hans wants to give Gelfand a chance to think on his time.
Exactly. Yeah, he wants to kind of blitz him out and then just use the time if he absolutely needs to. Thinking on Gelfand's time. Now rook h8, rook d6 probably is going to happen. Why not rook d6? You don't want to let black's rook into the game. But rook d6, king c7. Rook d6, king c7. And then if white moves the rook, rook d8 comes. So he's trying to anticipate this right now and figure out what he's going to do. Okay, so here he's going to spend some time. So rook d6, king c7, and then if you move the knight, that's rook takes h3. So knight f7. He allows black's rook in. Takes. Don't go king c3. Whew, that was close.
Getting himself mated, self-mate there. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure we would see that, but it might be very funny. All right, rook b2,
Rook b2.
sliding in there.
He's getting the pawn
That
back.
pawn will be falling. Yeah.
But now white's e-pawn will start running. So it's still very tricky. Ooh, d4. Okay. Why not just take? And take on b3. Yeah, I don't know. I think Gelfand is very close now to holding this. Because he still has a 2-second increment in this game. So it's not like he's gonna get flanked.
We just got news. The result of Vidit versus Jose Martinez is Vidit got 2 points. Jose won as black with 3 points. He will be moving on. In the winner's bracket, Vidit will be down to the loser's bracket.
So
that is
Jose
a crazy game.
Won the Armageddon, huh?
I don't even know if it was, let me see. If it was Armageddon, let's see.
3-2.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, in the meantime,
Yeah.
Gelfand saved it. In fact, even as an
One
extra
Armageddon.
pawn now, he can try to win this. Oh boy, Hans
With
probably
53
didn't push it
seconds.
too far, but yeah, because that extra pawn, it's always tricky, these 9-in games. He's for sure gonna try. Knight c5.
Yeah, especially when you're low on time, it can be a little bit tricky, but
Very
it does
tricky.
look like, at the very least, Gelfand will be able to hold a draw. Although you still see Hans making some practical decisions, trying to trick him under time pressure. It's just a little tough when you're down a pawn.
Yeah, no, at this point, Hans has to be very happy with the draw, and probably he'll make one because it looks like he's in control. But like I think white is kind of one mistake away from losing it, you know, because if you lose your e-pawn, then you're just 2 pawns down. So you have to be very
And it's, yeah,
very precise here.
it's important to note, chat, not to trade your knights here. If you are playing with the white pieces, unless you can somehow find a promotion, trading would not be great because you will be stuck defending the pawns. There might be some sort of zugzwang, but if you ever try to take that B pawn, the A pawn will go ahead. So probably keeping that knight on the board is the best practical shot at the draw there. I am
Yeah.
not sure what he's probably just thinking about the best follow up. I'm not sure if he's still pushing. Their 4 minutes against 50 seconds is quite a time difference, but there is increment here at this game, so he's probably not going to be able to flag him.
Yeah, exactly. So you're just looking for like a comfortable setup to hold it and make sure that black isn't able to make progress. And so far he's done well. But king c6 here, I think king c4. And yeah, he's keeping the pawns at bay. So yeah, Han's holding. Likely we're gonna see Armageddon in this one. Likely. But still, it's not over yet. This is like, time ticks down, you get confused, you put your knight on the wrong square, you allow a knight trade, and it's over. Just like that. It's over. And chess is very unforgiving.
It's Jover.
It's just Jover. Exactly.
It's just Jover. What's she gonna do? But yeah, we look like we have a lot of knight rerouting here. You've got to think, although this is the position you want to be in, if you're a little bit down on time, a lot down on time, those two pawns are very useful.
Yeah, at any moment he can force a draw just by taking on e5, so he always has that. So yeah, definitely I think Gelfand's not really in any danger. The only danger is if he pushes too hard for a win and then ends up flagging or, disconnecting. That would be a bummer. But short of that,
Was it the Wi-Fi gambit?
Exactly. Short of that, he should be okay.
Okay, I think every single player in chat has had this situation where you're like completely losing and your opponent disconnects and you're like, okay, like I must have done something good today because we're getting rewarded. Or the opposite. I've also been in winning positions disconnected. It is rough. It happens. Wi-Fi gambit happens to everybody.
It's the worst.
I mean, of course, they're trying to use really good Wi-Fi here, knowing that this is an important tournament, but sometimes you just can't plan things.
Oh, that's it. Okay, Gelfand has had enough, and they're gonna go to Armageddon.
There we go. I wonder what the bids will be for that one. It's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, we'll see. But players will get a quick break. They'll throw in the bids as well. Let's see. Do we have any games in Div 2? Looks like Danishvar against Injic are still playing their second game. And we have Bortnik Lazovic, who just started their second game. Okay. So Danishvar, he won the first game, but looks like he's losing the second one in exactly the same fashion. Heavy piece endgame. So Injic, great chance to bounce back and force Armageddon in this match. Lazovic, by the way, won the first game against Bortnik. So now Bortnik is in a must-win situation to win as black. Oof. So that's going to be rough for Bortnik.
Right, that is tough. Although he is known for creating complications.
Mm-hmm.
He's
Magician.
one of those players who are extremely sharp. Yeah, just making everything tricky, makes you use your time, which is especially beneficial in like Armageddon type settings when there is an increment. But here, I don't know how much that will help him in this kind of situation.
Yeah, the problem is Lazovic is also like super good and fast. So yeah, you can't
It's
trick
terrible when your
trickster.
opponent's good.
Yeah.
What you gonna do about it?
What you gonna do? Loving this for Injic. Looks like he's cruising for conversion here. But
Cruising for a conversion. Bada boom. Tisk.
F6. Okay, Rook G4 looked like GG. I don't know why he didn't go for Rook G4. This looks good as well. Rook G4 still looks good.
It's annoying when you're like, when you're psychically transmuting moves and you're like, do this, and then they don't play it. What you gonna do? But it happens to the best of us. By the way, my cat is saying hi right now. This is Ruth. She's a cutie. You probably can't see her. Let me bring her up to say hi.
Moves. Hi, cats.
Hello. She's saying hi. And I'll bring her over here so you can see her a little better.
Uh,
She's posing. She's being very patient with me right now as well. I'm sure she'll
wow.
squirm out at any second. Okay, baby.
She's quite talkative.
She's a cutie. Sure, that's my cat. Yeah.
Injich wins, so they're going to Armageddon. Let me jump to Bortnik, playing black against Dennis. And Dennis is not just a menace, but he's just like also just like dominating. I don't even know what happened, but white has a lot of space. It was one of these early B6 systems, and yeah, black just gives the whole center because he's trying to play provocatively, but yeah, objectively very, very good for white, this position.
Also, very important to note, BJH says he has 6 cats now. That is a lot of cats. My mom
Wow.
and sister have 2, so when I cat sit all of the cats, I think 3 is a lot. So hats up to you. Does anyone else have any pets in the audience? By the way, I'm still
Yeah.
shaking
Cats
off cat
off.
hair from that hug.
Cats off to all the
Like
cat
hats off.
owners.
That was a good one. That was better than the U pun. I think you're taking the lead on the pun tournament so far.
Oh, gracias. Um, okay. Well,
Yeah, just so much space in this game, and we get these opposite side castles. I love these positions. I think both players also love these positions, although the only issue is black is uncastled. Do you think they probably won't try to castle at all at the moment? Or if they do castle, probably short. It will be a few moves till they castle no matter what, because there's
yeah,
no
no,
real easy way to untangle these pieces.
he's far away. I can't imagine Bornik is really enjoying his position right now. It's just, it just looks so like bishop on b7 is bad, and like you didn't even get your King's Indian bishop to g7 yet. It's rough.
It's
Um,
not over though. Maybe your king will be decently safe
no,
on
not at all. Actually, I mean it is a reasonable
uh
choice when you absolutely have to play for a win. To be fair.
yeah. I'm just yeah, that knight could go to g5 anytime it likes. I don't know. Yeah, it's a little bit it can be a little
So
rough. Okay, now it
f6.
can't. There
Yeah,
you
but
go.
that's a good point though,
Preventing.
because otherwise white would have planted the knight on g5, and then it would have been really hard to play f6 because you're always allowing knight e6.
93. Yeah, 96.
But
Ugh,
still,
that was a good choice.
still. So we got this
Okay.
game. We got 2 Armageddons coming up, I believe, with Danishvar Injic, and then Hans against Gelfand, which we definitely won't want to miss. But we'll keep an eye on when those starts.
Absolutely. Oh, yeah, and I think let me see what the bids were for Gelfand Hans. Bids were oh wow, guys in chat, can you guess what the bids were for Boris and Hans? Because this is kind of a crazy bid. I won't spoil it for you just yet, although I'm sure you can see yourself if you'd like to. But yeah, someone said 5-6. No, that's a little bit low, I think, especially for this one. But yeah, this is definitely
Oh,
going to be an interesting match. I'll give you guys like 10 more seconds to guess because I'm very excited. I want to tell you.
it's pretty amazing.
Yeah, close. It is 7:25 for Gelfin and Hans at 7:30. So, what a close bid. It means Boris gets to choose his color. I believe he's going to want to play as black.
But Jules,
And
you skipped over it.
interesting.
Apparently, they started with the same bid of 729, and then
Oh
on
my.
rebid, Boris went 725, and then Hans went 730. That's what I'm reading in the Slack channel.
That is crazy.
They both went 729. It's that they had that mental connection. And then Hans is like, "Let him
Right.
have it. Let him have it." So Hans takes white with 10 minutes against 725.
And we have a Petrov where queens are off the board, but still a lot of life in the decision in the game.
Yeah, let
Interesting
me jump
decision
there.
by Hans as well.
Oh, let me go back to the opening. So, okay, Hans must win situation. Boris plays Gelfand. Sorry, Boris plays the Petrov. And okay, Hans plays a very kind of quiet system here. But he's looking for the long game. You know, this is the Armageddon squeeze. the the flagging, the slow flagging.
I guess he's happy with that. It makes sense. I was wondering why he would allow kind of a drier position, but you might not have a choice as well when someone plays at this level. Petrov, and still he's keeping up his time. You're right. He's probably just going for that flag. Maybe some pawn pushes are coming up. I don't know. It could still get pretty aggressive.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I feel like he's got a lot of pieces on the board, and the game is going to last for a very long time. And Hans, he already won one of these against Barath, right? That we just saw. So he's got the blueprint down. You know, just keep the game going, keep pieces on the board. Don't let the opponent force too much off.
Right. And Gelfin, this is his type of position. He is very good at these positional squeezes, right? These slow end games. Although maybe they don't think it's slow. It's not quite super slow.
Yeah,
But
he's also a
yeah,
good
with the
good
time.
defender. Um,
Right.
but 95. Oh, interesting. What's Black gonna do here? This is annoying because his dark squares are under attack.
What do you do when your dark squares are under attack? Bada boom. Just that I don't know. I was going for a pun, but it didn't quite work out in my head, and then I bailed out last second.
Yeah, really
If I
switched
want
over.
my puns, it has to be very good. Let's see.
Manage 5.
Getting up.
Okay, okay. I think white will have some edge here. You can take on G7, go knight F6. Take on D7, go rook E1. He's got nice bishop against knight. It's a simplified endgame, so I feel like Gelfand's probably not too unhappy about this, but white has a nice little edge here. Rook E7 probably, not to give the E file. Why not
Where
rook
do you put
E7?
your rook? Rook E7.
Rook D8, okay. I thought this allows like rook E1, so I don't know why you would allow this, but for some reason he doesn't like rook E7.
Hmm.
Teach their own.
Happy with that trade, and it kind of makes sense. I mean, the bishop is powerful, but the knights might be able to
Oh,
infiltrate a little bit,
C4.
and that bishop's not doing anything right now.
So Hans doesn't trade, keeps the knight. Also strong. Makes sense.
That
Makes
makes
sense.
sense, yeah. Because the bishop isn't really doing anything there on d7 just yet. Meanwhile, the knight's kind of happy there on f6. I don't know. I don't know. It could be interesting.
Yeah, he's just gonna hold on. And Galvin, oh, it's 3.5 minutes. Ooh, I don't
Oh,
like
with
it.
no
There's no
increment as
increment.
well.
It's
Do
not
you think
good.
he's quite adjusted to not having increment?
No, I do not. No, I do not.
I don't know. Guys in chat, how do you think this game is going to go? Honestly, we've seen a pretty even showing from both players so far.
Yeah, but on the clock, it's been all Hans, and I don't think he's gonna feel bad about it. I think he's just gonna slowly flag the venerable champion. That's gonna be that.
I don't know. It's always interesting to see.
We'll see if
In the
Gelfin
meantime,
can
I'm
make
just
something happen. Yeah, because he has to because Hans, he can just keep maneuvering around. Like he's slightly better, just like knight e3, rook back and forth, just make a bunch of moves, a4, make a bunch more moves, and he's like better, so you can also just try to like win the position. Knight f4.
right. And
It's looking very
it does
good.
seem that Lozovic Bortnik might end in a Lozovic victory, although it's too soon to tell. He is doing slightly better here in this position, if I'm correct.
Yeah, no, he's up. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, for sure. Bornik's got some play. He's got like a Benko kind of thing going, but it's a plum
Terrible
for
opening.
white. Yeah,
Awful
not a
opening.
fan.
I'm not a fan of the Banco. I used to play it, and oh my God, just terrible, awful, awful, awful ending. Terrible ending. No, terrible opening, sorry.
It can be
Well,
tough.
actually, also terrible end game. Technically, it's you're supposed to go into end game in the Banco, but like, oh my gosh, I don't know. I do not recommend. I do not recommend. I'm a reformed Banco player. No, Bishop Star. Banco is not OP. I do not agree. You are wrong. Wrong. Very passionate with my Banco hatred.
Okay.
Had some bad luck with that opening. But as we see here, 2 minutes to 6 minutes, that is quite the time difference considering. I mean,
Yeah.
he has been able to keep up playing about as fast as Hans Demon, which is quite an accomplishment in and of its own. But starting down 3 minutes,
Yeah, you can't keep doing it because
I
eventually
don't
Hans
know.
will end with 2.5 minutes and you'll have 0. So a4 and White's position is just really nice. Like Black had to give up the bishop. Now White's bishop is beautiful. He's got a5, a6 coming to just light up that diagonal. One day the bishop will land on c6. Very unpleasant for Black. Because what do? You can't fight for the e file here. If you go king d8, you hang the b pawn. If you go b6, you allow bishop c6. So your king is just stuck on c8. You can't play c6. You can't challenge for the e file. If you go rook
You
d8,
can't play
it's rook
h4.
e7. Yeah, Black, I think, is just in big
It's,
trouble. I think
yeah.
he wins this on the board. I think he wins this on the
You think
board.
so? I mean, he's going to try, of course.
Okay, d5. Yeah, maybe only move, actually. Nice try from Gelfand to just fight for the diagonal. But I don't think White has to react too much here. You can go king c3. You can go c5. I like king c3. Just kind of improving the king.
That's actually a very interesting
Oh,
choice because even
bishop
though
d4.
they will be
Wow.
up a little bit of material, this is very easily drawable if he tries.
Oh, Hans goes for king and pawn endgame.
Oh,
Wow. Oh, that was very smart.
that is brave.
Wow. I did not see that coming at all.
He just like calculated that was winning right away too. That can be dangerous because some of these are not exactly clear whether they're winning, but he just saw this and he's like, yeah, this is gonna be it for me.
Yeah, it's not always so easy, but he has a pawn up, and it feels like he has a lot of like moves in reserve. So like h4, for example, and yeah, slowly Black is gonna run out of moves here. But yeah, you do have to be careful. You don't allow a draw. I think it's not that trivial. Let's see here. Maybe king e4 and then f5, king f4. Go for the king side. Okay, goes g4. Watch out, one mistake, he could allow a draw. You know, it's definitely in that zone.
But he seems very confident. I don't think he would have gone for something like this unless he like absolutely knew which plan he was gonna follow.
Yeah, probably not. Yeah. No. He was definitely very sure that this is winning. But hopefully he can, for him, he can convert as well. I guess his idea is, yeah, he's always just going to be able to create space on the king side. So if f6, he's got f4 and g5. And one day Black will have to give up the e5 square. So yeah, maybe even g5 right now. Gelfand's tricky though. I mean, is not his first day playing chess. He'll you can always come up with
Thank you
something,
for
but
sharing. Yeah, it's a bit tough. You're gonna get into some sort of zugzwang
I
position
think
where
Zugzwang's
there is
coming.
really
Yeah,
nothing,
f3 for
just nothing you
example.
can do there.
Mm-hmm. King e5. F3 looks like money. Hans is thinking about something. Not sure what. His next match? I don't know. What's what's on his mind?
Dinner, breakfast,
F3.
F3, we see it played.
King e5 and now f4. You just
And the
put
idea
Black in
behind
Zugzwang again.
F4, yeah, you make it so there's no good move that Black can make here. If the king moves away, you're gonna have a lot of trouble.
I guess okay, like f4, like the king can go back to like king d7, king e8, and then king d7, king f6, king. Yeah, he's
But I'm
still
wondering
have
if you
to
could
figure
even
this out.
just, worst comes to worst, try, maybe this is bad, but try d6 or something
D6 is definitely
and
an idea, but yeah, you
just
need
use
to
that
time
pawn,
it just right.
decoy
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
So here and then Oh, okay. Going for a little
Oh,
flag? Little flaggy flag?
no repeats. It would be a little funny, but I don't think it will happen if there's accidentally a.
Wait, he had a draw? Was F6 a draw? F6 might have been a draw. No, not F6. I
No,
don't
no,
know
no,
what
no,
was
no,
the
no,
draw.
no. Dude, he repeated by accident the position.
Oh, it was a three-time repetition.
And I jinxed it too because I said I didn't think he was gonna do it, but it'd be funny if he did. And he did it.
What did he
Oh,
do?
he's gotta
F4?
be raging.
What did he just do? Why would he do that?
Because he didn't remember that because it's a positional 3-time repetition. So he didn't remember what position he'd been in.
Oh my god. Oh my god. He's winning
Guys, that
too.
is.
It's not that
Oh
easy to win it
no.
though. Like, I'm just curious
This was
how he should
absolutely
have done
an
it.
error, though. Yeah.
Oh man.
I mean, king
Oh man.
f6 back, maybe.
So okay, so like the win was not easy, but basically like I'll just show folks. He had to go like d4, black moves king f8, then you go d6, takes, d5, king e8, and eventually you break with this f5. It's really not obvious, but like yeah, you kind of can make all the moves eventually if you don't start repeating. I think he was just repeating to gain a few seconds on the clock, and then yeah, he didn't realize that he like repeated three times. Because
That
he
is
went king f6, he
rough.
came back, that was already two, and then he repeats a third time. Oh man.
Me and Hans, similar players. Been
You
there,
did that
done
too
that.
against Jen for you. I remember you were
Yeah, I
winning
did
that
that against
game.
Jen. Yeah. I lost
Unbelievable.
Alexandra Botez a lot of money on that mistake. But
Oof.
yeah, it's tough, especially some of these positions. In tournament games, you even have to claim it and show the organizer the positions it's been in 3 times because sometimes it's a little unclear. People get it wrong all the time, but you just know that he is fuming right now. It's very tough,
Yeah,
very tough indeed.
he's pissed. Hopefully he's in a safe location. And yeah, that's unfortunate. That's
Yeah,
unfortunate.
I am catching strays here. It's okay. I deserve it on that one. I remember after that game, people on Reddit were discussing whether I knew what a threefold repetition was. Um, so that was cool.
He
I
probably just
was like,
didn't know.
I know the rules of chess, guys. Meanwhile, we have this game. Lazovic is killing it, absolutely. And yeah, the endgame magician Eddie, you're right.
He just needs a draw,
He
does
did play a very
Lazovic.
nice game.
But it looks like he's winning this game. I think it's the last game of the day if he does convert or force a draw. Injic won the Armageddon against Danishvar, so Alexander Injic, world's tallest player, still in it.
Not sure about that one, bud.
Okay, b4. Oh, Dennis is too good. Rook g7, knight
He's such a strong
d5.
player.
It's all
This
coming
is an
in.
interesting matchup because it's two players with very similar strengths playing each other. I mean, it's also great to see some players who have different strengths and weaknesses and see which one kind of comes out on top. But this is two kind of similar players.
And he's
Oh, is
just
he going to go for
forcing
the
the draw
draw?
here.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
I
because
mean, was it even
Black had no
forced?
choice, basically had to allow it, but very, very practical decision from Dennis.
Yeah, there we go. That means the victory is Dennis's, and he will be moving on. Well, Alexander Bortnik, that was in fact loser's bracket, so he will be sent home. Practical decision. Well, a draw is a win in that case, so.
Yeah, no, it is. I mean, so very normal decision from Dennis to. He, of course, could have converted it, but yeah, you're here to win matches. And so 1.5 out of 2 takes it. So Bortnik is out. Lazovic is in. Do we have some pairings maybe for tomorrow?
For tomorrow, let's see. Let's take a look. I'm not sure if we do just yet. I am just going to double check. Although it's going to be a lot of interesting matches tomorrow. Kind of crazy how everything ended in these games, especially these Armageddons. We've had some interesting Armageddons tonight.
Yeah, no, that was pretty wild. That was all Hans, and then Gelfand tricks him with a 3 full repetition. I mean, unbelievable, Unbelievable. But hey, Legacy still got it. Looks like I got some pairings here. Looks like Fabi will be playing your boy Jules Moussard in the winners final, and then we have Gelfand against Sindarov in the losers bracket. I think, or they
There you
might be
go.
waiting for. I'm not sure. No, I think they'll play. I think they'll play.
Do we have any more D2 games left, or is that it for us?
And let's see. Yeah, Division Two I think is done. Done for today. And next up is going to be Injic against Lazovic in the losers bracket there. The winner of that match plays Sean Sergissian. Meanwhile, Wesley So is going to play against Jose Martinez in the winners final.
Look at that. It's going to be really interesting. We have a lot to look at tomorrow. Coming up, we'll be here all week. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. We're doing a lot of commentary. I am happy to be paired with Kostya. As always, it's a pleasure.
Tomorrow's our
Yeah,
final
I
day,
don't
actually, I
know.
think, because tomorrow we're going to have the winners final, and then I think the grand final they're doing on the main broadcast on like Tuesday, I think. So yeah, tomorrow will
Wow.
be our last day, folks.
Well, we will make it a good one. All right. And I think we just got word that we are all done for the day. So, yeah, we might sign off and see you guys tomorrow. What do you think, Kostya?
Yeah, yeah. Oh, we should do actually we should do the call to action thing because the Vichy thing is starting tomorrow, and I mean I won't read it. I'm just gonna talk about it's Vichy
Go
against the
ahead.
world, guys, because I'm actually participating in this event. I'm a coach for the world,
True.
so we need players, and today's the last day to sign up because it's gonna be starting tomorrow. You might be able to sign up afterwards, but like if you want to play the whole game, you got to sign up today because it's starting tomorrow. Vichy's gonna make his first move. I'm guessing it's gonna be one e4, and then we're going to be voting on moves against him. So if you want to sign up for that, go chess.com/playvichy and join the vote chesting, because it's actually a pretty historic thing. There was this vote chess against Kasparov in the 90s, and this is like the first one they've done since then, I think, something like that. Anyways, so it's a repeat of a very historic event, playing against the world champion Vichy Anand. We need all the help we can get, so folks, you should sign up.
All right, everybody.
Alrighty, that's gonna
We
do
will
it.
see you soon. And thank you for joining us today. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye all.
Bye.